for me, the biggest reason that I do this is I know what college soccer did for me. It gave me not only an education, but the experiences that it gave me were amazing. And I would not have been able to afford to go to the University of San Diego without a scholarship, for me personally. I have 6 kids in my family, 5 boys, 1 girl, and I don't know if you know about USD, but it's very expensive. It's about $38,000, $40,000 a year. So without that, without soccer, without that scholarship, without that opportunity, I would not have had the experiences that I had. My freshman year, we went to the NCAA Division I finals. The experience was incredible. The education was very good. I ended up getting a degree in communications and an emphasis in business administration. My senior year, I ended up tearing my ACL. So the good thing was I had my education. So you know, most of you obviously are here to play soccer at the college level, and you might not always play soccer for the rest of your life. So it's always good to get that education, and that's key. That's what it's done for me. Since then, I've continued to coach. I've continued to give back to the game, teach players, coach players, help them play at the next level. So sharing my experiences. At first, it was a little bit difficult tearing my ACL and realizing, okay, what am I going to do? I thought I was meant to play soccer for the rest of my life, but I realized it was more about now me sharing my experiences and sharing what I know, sharing my knowledge, and helping other players play at the college level. So since then, I've been coaching for over 20 years. I've coached all levels from youth to professional to college players that have come back and played as well. I've got my A license, and I'm a U.S. Soccer Training Center coach as well. So, that's just a little bit about me. For you guys, my question to you is, obviously, are you here to earn a scholarship? How can soccer help you get into college? Well, the other question you may be asking yourself is how to get recruited to play college soccer. So for the players, do these questions ring true to you in any way? Who would like to get a scholarship to play college soccer? Awesome. Who would like just to use soccer to help you get into a college of your dreams? Anybody? Yeah. We all have different reasons. We all have different interests in how we want to use the sport that we have to be able to get into college, play at that next level. And I want to be able to help you, whether it's get a scholarship or just use soccer to be able to get you into the school that you might not normally be able to get into. So, parents, some of these feelings may possibly ring true to you, especially if you're a sophomore or a junior. If you're a freshman, I don't know if you've quite hit some of these emotions quite yet, but can anybody relate to these words or to these feelings? Parents? Yes? Which one rings true to you?
At first, just confusion, because you don't know where to begin.
Okay.
And once you get information, it's stressed out because you don't know what to do.
Okay.
I have a senior, so we kind of started late, and now I have a 7th grader, which is why we're here.
Okay.
We don't want to make the same mistakes we did.
Okay.
A lot of that.
Okay. Good. So you've been almost kind of through the process and realized you have to find.
We learned about the process very late.
Okay.
So unfortunately, we weren't able to do much with our senior.
Okay.
And other than somebody not here there to get some information.
Okay.
But we got stuck because we're like, okay, we should have started earlier. So how do we get that information? How do we follow the right path so we can do better with the next year?
Can anybody relate to her? Yes? Anybody else have any of these questions that have come up? Recruiting services. Did you have a...
Just the when, because we had a friend go through the process, she got a full ride to Auburn, and the dad was telling us what we need to do, the mistakes they made, and I don't know what's, maybe different from her, I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
And that's a good point, because a lot of people sometimes parents talk to other parents, but are you guys at the same level, right? If that player's up here and you're here, the information you're getting doesn't.
She was barely 8th grade and she was already.
And you're maybe different levels of players and different interests of schools. So is that information, useful to you?
Yeah.
Is a question. Where to start, when to start, how to start. These are the questions that I hear from a lot of parents when they get into that panic mode, or they feel like it's too late and they don't have any direction. The other question I get a lot is recruiting services. How many of you are familiar with recruiting services, or you get emails about recruiting services? And a lot of you may have questions like, which one do I use? Is this a good one? Is it not? Those are questions that I had when I got started, when I wanted to help my team. What we're going to be going over is the 4 most important action steps. This is the meat of what the process is all about. And I'm going to give you these steps. So for somebody like you that needs those steps in that guideline, this is going to help you. These steps: how to get started, how to identify your target list, your best fit, how to create your profile, and how to contact college coaches. Okay, you can go ahead and, if you want to take those notes, but that's what we're going to be going over today. It's the most important part of the process. The rest of it, the stuff will happen happen naturally. I'm going to tell you, this is how I got started. So, like I told you, I grew up playing soccer, I played college soccer, and I've been coaching for over 20 years. So you would think by now I would have a really good understanding of what the process is like. And I do, but about 1.5 years ago, I had a workshop just like this. And I brought a couple teams in, my teams, because I wanted to be proactive to help them. I wanted to know exactly what they should be doing and be able to help them with that, the parents and the players. So I was doing a lot of research, and I was looking at, what recruiting services to use, what resources are available out there that I could guide my players and parents to, or my team to. What should they be doing? And I found myself a little bit lost because there's a ton of information out there, but I didn't know which one was the best information to guide them to or direct them to. I wanted to send them to one spot that I felt like I could trust the person, somebody that I felt was soccer specific, maybe coming from a coach's perspective, something that would help both parents and players, something that would be easy to use, and obviously something that isn't expensive. Because there's a lot of services out there that charge a lot of money, and I wanted to be able to guide them in the right direction. Most importantly, somebody that they could trust. And that's a resource or a program that I was looking for to be able to help my team. And this is my team here with my son. And that team at the time, who I was helping, now you'll see a little bit later, over half of those players are now verbally committed. Majority of them on full ride scholarships. So we've obviously been doing something right. And I'll show you some pictures about that. So what I did is I couldn't find anything that I could trust and like, so I decided to create it myself. And I created an online course that shows you exactly what you need to do to be prepared for the college recruiting process, step by step by step. So every little thing, everything that I know is inside this guide, and it walks you through the process all the way through. It's got modules, everything is in there that you need, and we'll go over that a little bit later. But that's why I created this. I wanted to be able to help players and parents because I realized there wasn't anything out there. And for me, I kept repeating myself over and over and over again. I'd send them an email template. I'd send them, here's a list of questions you can ask college coaches when you talk to them. And I realized, I'm like, there has to be a better way, an easier way, not only for me, but for players and parents. So that's why I created this, basically having a central hub for all the players and parents to go to follow the steps and to follow, so that I can show them what I know. So that's what I ended up creating because I couldn't find it. This is some of the players that I've been able to help over the last 1.5 years, some of the coaches that I've been talking to and working with. I talk to college coaches on a daily basis. You can ask my wife. She will attest to it. I'm on the phone a lot. That's another reason why I created the program. Was I was talking to parents and players so much, I'm like, there has to be an easier way. So these are the college coaches that I've been working with. some of the players that I've helped get into college. This is not, you can't see the picture very well. She's on the U17 Mexican national team. If you have any descent in any country, whether it's Filipino, Swedish, Mexican, whatever, you can use that as an opportunity and try to get yourself in at a high level, and it'll boost your resume. So she got called into the Mexican national team, and 3 weeks later got a call back from UCLA, wanting to recruit her. Without that opportunity, she would have never made the U17 U.S. national team, but she made the Mexican national team, and UCLA is her dream school. So she's moving in the right direction. And this is just an example. I show you this because I'm on the field and I'm doing this on a daily basis. And so everything that I know and I put in this guide that I'm going to share with you is from personal experience. And it's from experience from parents in what they need or what they want and what they need help with, and also from players and what they need, because I talk to them all the time, and everything, all those questions and all that information that I feel you guys need, I put inside the guide for you guys. Did you have a question?
That example that you just gave us about the girl being recruited by the Mexican team, did that happen during high school?
No, you know, the Mexican Federation they aren't as organized as the U.S., so it's kind of word of mouth more than anything. And so they have a couple tryouts throughout the year in Santa Ana. And so she got called in for one of those tryouts. It was a little bit before high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you have descent, if the player's grandparents are from Mexico or another country, and you can prove that, then there's like the Filipino national team trains locally here as well. And they have tryouts and people that, they come out. It's a little bit hard to find out about them. If you want to know about the Mexican national team, I can get you in touch with them.
I was just curious, how did she do high school? Well,
yeah, well, unfortunately, she had to miss a lot of school.
Okay.
A lot of school because she had to go down to Mexico multiple times.
Okay.
So she had to miss school. But they get waivers for that through high school. Same with ODP, Olympic Development Program. So you always have waivers during high school for stuff like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Good question, though. So let's dive into this. Okay, action steps. Please feel free to ask any questions. I want this to be interactive. I want it to be helpful. If you have a question, shoot your hand up. I'm happy to answer that. This is a workshop, and I want us to be able to get some work done. Okay, and I want to help you make some progress. So action step number 1. This can go for freshmen, sophomores, even your 8th grade going into freshmen. This is something that you can be doing and should be doing. Visiting at least 5 local colleges. Anything local around here. It doesn't matter if it's big or small. It's just getting on campuses and getting a feel for what you like, what you don't like, what the campus life is like, and just getting a feel for that. So visiting local colleges, that's easy. Something that you guys can do as parents and players together, and it's fun. So that's not difficult. Going to local college games. Who's, out of the players, who's been to a college game, seen a college game live? Haley, no? Not yet? You'll get there. Go to games. Who's watched soccer games on TV or online? That's huge. Why do you think I recommend that? Why do I recommend watching games or going to games?
So we can get experience.
Say that again?
So we can get experience
Experience in what?
in how they play and move the ball.
So watching them, seeing if maybe you can play at that level, picturing yourself at that level. Why else?
Is it that make a difference whether girls are watching boys play or vice versa?
Yeah, I would say if you're a girl, watch girls, and boys, watch boys, for some specific reasons.
See how the coaches coach the team.
Yeah, how the coaches interact with the team, what their coaching style is, what the style of the soccer is in general. Of that particular team, maybe that's a school. Maybe you want to go to UCI, and you want to see how they play, and if that's your kind of, if you like to play that style, or if you like that type of coach, or not. So you go, and then if it's a local game, they may be playing schools from outside of the area as well, so you get to kill two birds with one stone. So there's, and just overall learning in general. A lot of the college games you can be in a stadium seating, so you get an aerial view. So you're just learning the game in general, but more specifically for getting a feel for the level of the game in general. Visiting colleges when you travel. I just flew back from Vegas today. We had a game this morning. But whenever that was just a league game. But whenever you travel for showcases or tournaments, I always recommend to visit a couple campuses while you're there. If you're going, you know, we've traveled to Arizona, Seattle, Vegas, and we've always scheduled these tours or trips or something to go visit the campus. And you're already there, so you might as well take advantage of it. So when you travel, when you go to tournaments or showcases, visit those colleges. And last but not least, student athletes. That's what you guys are going to be. You're going to be student athletes, not just soccer players. So you have to make sure that your grades are good. And I'm sure that most of you are disciplined in that, but I can't stress that enough because it's very difficult to get into college. Very difficult. And without good grades, your chances are smaller. So make sure you have good study habits starting early, freshman and sophomore. Action step number 2. This is huge. This is probably the biggest mistake that a lot of players and parents make is right in this area. They skip this, and they don't spend enough time in this area, and I can't stress it enough. But identifying your top 25 schools. I want you to think for a second, players. Just start thinking of some of the schools that you have on your list. And let me see, who's got 5 schools that they want to rattle off right now? What schools do you want to go to?
San Francisco State, Cal State Northridge, UCI,
Fullerton, UCLA. Anybody else? 5 schools. Lexus. 5 schools? Come on, you got it. U of A, ASU, University of Washington. Okay, good. I recommend this highly. You have to expand this list, and this list is going to change over time. It's going to change. It's going to morph. It's going to get smaller at times. It's going to get bigger at times. But right now, players, I want you to go ahead and start working on your list. So start making your list. If you have a phone, you want to go ahead and put it in your notes, but I want you to start writing your list and thinking about the schools that you want to attend. A school that you think you can play soccer at your level. What academics you want to study. What do you like to study? Who likes studying English? Who likes studying science? Who likes studying history? Okay, so those are interests that you have, so you want to make a list, and it may be multiple, and it may change. I'll tell you a funny story. When I went to college, I wanted to be a doctor. And I took my wife class. I wanted to be a doctor. I knew to be a teacher, doctor, lawyer, and something else. That's all I really knew, because everything else was soccer. I took my first chemistry class, and I took my first lab class, and I was like, what the heck am I doing? It was crazy. I couldn't believe I was doing that. So my major changed. And it was fine because, like I told you, I got a degree in communications and business administration. But the reason I wanted to be a doctor was because I wanted to help people. That was why I wanted to be a doctor. It wasn't to do the doctor stuff, it's because I wanted to help people. And so I've continued to be able to help people through coaching soccer, sharing my knowledge, sharing what I know, and helping you guys accomplish your goals and accomplish your dreams of playing college soccer. And what will come out of it is going to be different than what you thought originally. I thought I was going to be a doctor, and now soccer is my life. And now I'm here talking to you guys and helping you. So what you might want to do now may change, and it's okay. That's how life is. Okay, but that's what going through this college experience is all about, and that's why you have to start making this list and start figuring it out, because eventually you're going to get there. So your top 10, your next best 10, and your 5 fallback schools. Schools that you know I can get in no problem. You have to have those schools. Okay? And when I say to expand that list, I mean it. Because that list has to be bigger. And most of us know most of the schools that we've talked about. Most of us know Fullerton, UCLA, ASU, U of A, you know, the Stanfords, the UCLAs, we know those schools. But there's hundreds of schools out there that maybe you don't know about. And I'm going to talk to you about how you can figure that out. But the reasons you want to, when I'm talking about your target schools, I'm talking about how you're going to fit and how it's going to fit for you. Athletically, academically, socially. When you're making that list, do you want to go to a big school? Do you want to go to a small school? I hear this with all the players. I want to go to a school with a big football program. They don't, it's not because they like football, it's just, it's fun. It's what they like doing in high school. Right? So it's like, I want to go to a big football program. And some, that doesn't matter to them. For me, it didn't matter. I went to USD, small school, 6,000 students. That's what was good for me. It was a small school. It was about 5 to 6 hour drive. It was an hour flight from home, from Arizona. So it was easy. It was far enough away from home, but close enough to be able to get back. And it was in San Diego. That was a perfect fit for me. That's what I needed. So for you, it may be different. You may want to be out of California. You may want to be in the Midwest. If you're a soccer player and you want to play outside of California, your chances of playing college soccer are high. Much, much better. I had a girl that was open to going outside of California, actually wanted to. Within 3 months, she was recruited to Louisiana in the ACC. It was that easy for her because she was just wanting to get out of California, and she knew it. And she's a Southern California soccer player. That opens up so many more doors for you. And then parents, this is what you have to consider and talk about is financially. What school is going to be financially viable for you to be able to afford? Out-of-state costs, tuition, all those types of things are things that you have to take into consideration. And I have inside my guide things that can help you inside one of the photos to talk to you about that. So this is the research. When I was doing this is the research that I recommend. Because there's so much information out there, that's where it becomes overwhelming. I went through so many guides and so many websites. I mean, literally a year and a half of just looking at stuff and trying to figure out what is good and what is valuable. And these are my top 3 resources. The first one is topdrawersoccer.com. Topdrawersoccer.com. It's a free resource. It has men's soccer, it has women's soccer. It has it very well organized. Every division, every conference, the teams are organized in their conferences, in their standings. You can click on the team, find out their schedule, get a bunch of information from them. So that is a free resource. Men and women Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, NAIA, everything is in there. It's a one-stop shop for that type of information. You need to kind of figure out how to navigate through it. And inside the guide, I do video tutorials that show you the different parts of that website that you should be looking at to make it easy for you to do that research. My whole goal is to be able to save you guys time and energy in doing this, because I've been through it, and I know how much time it can take, so I'm trying to make it a shortcut for you and get you the information that you need, but simplify it for you. The NCAA recruiting, it's a spreadsheet basically that is created by a dad that shows you every college and all the different players that are committed to that college. And then it also shows you by a club. What clubs do we have represented here? Shout it out. What? Prima? Soccer club. Chivas? Okay. Oh, Eagles. What's another club here? Golden State? Arsenal? What else? West Coast. Surf. So it would say, okay, let's say it's University of Maryland, and it says 2016 we have players from these clubs. So you can kind of get an idea, and then it'll go, if you go on the club, so it'll say surf, and surf is sending players to this college, this college, this college, in 2016, 2017, 2018. So you can start to get a feel where these colleges are recruiting players from, what clubs they're recruiting them from, and what clubs are pushing players in different colleges. So that research can be helpful for you to know if there's some connections that you can use there. And that information, it's free, and I have that information inside the guide. And College Fit Finder. College Fit Finder is hands down, it's collegefitfinder.com. It's hands down the best resource out there for a lot of things. You can get a profile, but the best thing is their college search tool. Parents, how many of you are familiar with CarMax and how that works? So you punch in all the different features that you like of a car or want of a car, and then after you put all those filters in, it shows you a list of different cars. Same idea with this. So you can go Division 1. If you have your grades, you can put grades in there. You can put what part of the country. You can put the size of the school. You can put the cost. You can put the different majors that you want to study, and you put all that, and then it spits out a list of colleges that you would have never, ever, ever even thought of. And you're like, oh, I never even thought of this school. And now that could be a good fit for you. Because a lot of us only know a handful of schools. This opens up your eyes to so many more schools, so many more opportunities. So, and then from there, this is really cool. From there, you can move the schools up and down. So you can click on, let's say, Louisiana State. I don't even know what that's called. It's Louisiana State, and it has the size of the school, the academics, a whole list of the academic majors in there, the cost, and has all the details of what you would need to do. Contact information, everything you need to know from that school right there. And then you can move it up or down. So now you're starting to create your favorites list or your target list. And then you can save that. So you have full access to all of that. Now this is a paid service. It's about $30 a month, so about $360 for a year. But I'm going to give you some other information that's going to get you excited. But that's a paid service, but it's hands down the best. Question?
What age do you start doing all of that? Like what
When
grade?
should you start doing the College Fit Finder?
I'd say freshman, at least. Freshman, if you haven't. I mean, if you're a sophomore, for sure, because it's the research. The research is key. And you're going to have to, when you're a sophomore and a junior, you're going to have to come back and do some more research. Because if you aren't getting schools interested in you and you haven't committed, you need to go back and start redoing some things. And I have that all the time. I have some players that wanted to go to Princeton and wanted to go to these higher level schools, and they realized, okay, Boston University was interested in it. But, okay, Boston University, those are the schools, the level that she has to start targeting. So how do you find other schools that are like Boston University? College Fit Finder. Because a lot of parents and players have a hard time figuring out, well, what level can he or she play? Are they a Division I player? Or are they a mid-range Division I, lower Division I, high Division II? And once you start figuring it out, and then you know, okay, this is the level she or she is, now you need to start targeting those schools, and this is a great tool for that. Good question though. Who's heard of College Fit Finder? Okay, have you used it? No? And who else over there? Did you? Nobody else? David? Okay, great resource. I've been through all of it, and this is the best for sure. So this is College Fit Finder. The research schools. It kind of explains your preferences, maps. Like I said, it has everything you need in there. The school matches. You can create your favorite schools. Has all the coaches' information. It's probably the most up to date. You can get it from Top Door Soccer as well, but I think College Fit Finder is the most up to date. But I always recommend inside my guide, I show you how to get to the actual athletic website and make sure you get the contact information from there, because that's always the most accurate. And we'll get to that a little bit later. And then it's got a lot more features, but this is just, in my opinion, the college search tool is the biggest feature. You got that? Action step number 3, creating your profile. Who's got a player profile up and running and ready to go today? Anybody?
It's not like you have to use, but it's not like, you get messages from coaches and stuff, but it's not, there's stuff missing, I know,
Okay.
so.
Parents, are you familiar? Do you know what a player profile is? Can you explain to me what a player profile is? Anybody? Parents?
I've seen a couple of them for these other girls that have put their name, when they start what club, what position they play, and
Okay.
stuff like that.
So what would you relate it to?
The resume.
A resume, a job resume. So you wouldn't recommend going out and applying for a job without a resume. You have to have a resume. So this is how to create your profile, your athletic achievements, your academic achievements. Video is something that I highly recommend, but it's got to be quality. It's got to be quality, it's got to be good. So we'll talk about that as well. Making sure that your references are in there, and also making sure that it's digital and hard copy. So digital obviously is a link that will take you to the profile on the website. You also want to be able to have something hard copy. For example, if you go to a college ID camp or any sort of camp, you want to be able to have something maybe give them to a college coach there. That's always a little extra bonus and shows that you're very serious about that. So you want to make sure you have both. Any questions on the player profile?
Is there any one particular website that's better than another, or is that part of what we've been talking about? Because
Yeah.
I've seen a variety of different profiles,
Right.
and they're all different.
Mhm.
Some of the way the information is structured
Right.
is different. Some are easy to get in and out of, some
Right.
are very difficult.
Yeah. And that's a challenge. When it's difficult to get in and out of for you and or for the college coach, you don't want that because the college coach doesn't want to waste any extra time.
On these different services called Fit Finder, Top Drawer, NCAA, or all the, NCSA, there's another.
Right.
Do the coaches have to pay for those services, or is it a free backdoor for those college coaches to look at different profiles amongst the different?
A little bit on the back door for the college coaches. Sometimes their school will have to pay for that. I don't know the details of it, but what I do know is the college coaches don't like having to go extra steps to get into those things. They also don't like the fact when it pings that like, let's say a college coach opens the email and then it notifies you that they opened the email. They don't like that because now it sends a mixed message like, okay, well, you opened the email, but now they aren't responding and they keep wondering why you weren't responding.
So like, getting at the college Fit Finder.
Right.
Does every coach out there have access to college Fit Finder?
Yeah. College Fit Finder is just a link. You can link it up there.
Yeah.
And that's what you want. You want something that's easily accessible to the college coach. There is multiple ones, and you don't want to have 15 different profiles out there. You don't. You want to keep it simple. There's some that if you play for SDCSL, which I think most of you probably do, or even in the ECNL clubs, there's ways you can create a plain, simple one on Demisphere. It's part of the SDCSL. And I show you how to do that in the guide so your manager can get you. It's a very simple, basic one. And it's got your schedule on there too as well. So Demisphere is a free one. You use it because it's already part of your league. And that's one that I recommend because it's free. And then the other one is College Fit Finder.
What about the top drawer?
Yeah, well, I think top drawer is not bad. I recommend it because I recommend top drawer soccer because you pay the membership. You can find ways to boost your rankings in top drawer soccer. So if you go to the combines, you go to a combine, you get a good rating on a combine. So make note of this, top drawer soccer, there's combines or like showcase college camps. You go to it and you'll get an evaluation. If your evaluation is pretty good, you'll get a good ranking. If your ranking is good, you have a good argument to maybe boost yourself in rankings so that you can add that to your resume. So that's a good way because some of you, not everybody's ODP or national team or ID2 and all those things, but that's a way you kind of create your own little that sense. So Top Drawer Soccer, attend the combines, and you can boost your rankings. You also do get a free profile with it, and then you get a lot of information. So as part of that Premier membership, you get information about college recruiting and who's being recruited and stuff like that. So it's not a bad one, but it's not the best one. And I'll talk about what the best one is here, and video. So this is what a good player profile should look like. It's got an overview, it's got a video tab, athletics, academics, references, all the information you need there. You click on each tab, it brings those up. It's got your grad year, your team, and GPA, and obviously a good professional picture. So this is called Soccer Guys one, but if you were to be with Arsenal or Surf or whatever, it would have your logo. It would also be customized. This is College Fit Finders. It would be customized for your club. So if your club's colors are red, it would be red, blue, white, whatever it is. So that's the one I recommend is College Fit Finder. This is what I would recommend for your video. Some of you that were here earlier, you got a chance to see some of the video in here. And Dana's doing the video tonight. Big Boom Video is a local company here that is very good at creating highlight or college recruitment videos. And this is key here, to be able to circle the player and identify you and who you are. So the college coach, they get so many emails and so many videos, they need to be able to see you. That's the player that I'm looking at. Okay, they can watch and they can see the highlights. So something that is high quality like that. Dana does full game coverage, offers team discounts, the college recruitment, video player profiles. That's another key. So you don't want just the video. You need to have, like when I went here, you need to have almost a profile that introduces who you are. Then you want to have the video, and then you want to end with a profile as well. And Dana does this. I'll actually show you an example here. For those of you that weren't here earlier. Stop it right here. This is a new feature that is awesome. So for example, if you're a parent and you're watching your daughter and you've hired Dana and he's videoing the game from above, getting a good aerial shot, and there's an app on your phone that when you see your daughter or son make a good play, scores a goal, you tap it and it tags it. So then, okay, then a little bit later, they make a good pass or a good tackle, tap and tag, tap and tag. So then you're just watching the game and already identifying the highlight clips. And that gets sent to Dana, so that when he goes to cut up and create your highlight video, it's got the tags already in there, which is huge. So then you don't have to go back and rewatch it if you don't need to. You just already tagged it while you've been watching the game. So very, very easy. And then Dana can probably elaborate on that a little bit more.
This folks right here is, if you've ever had video done before, we shoot from 25-foot tripods or the top of the press box in stadium. So you're always going to get elevation. You're always going to get about a third of the field because college coaches want to see what you're doing away from the ball, what you do when you get the ball, and what your vision is, where you go with the ball. And as we go on, this is done at Oceanside. There's no elevation down there. So this is from our 25-foot tripod. And as you can see here, you're going to get a link. Everything is digital now. So you'll have a link that you can download and a link that you will have of the complete full game. If you want to go back east somewhere to go to school, maybe the D2 doesn't have a budget to come see you, they're gonna want to, they like it, it's just like a movie trailer to a movie. Hey, that movie looks really good, let's go see it. Well, that's what your highlight video is. It's a movie trailer, it's a college recruitment trailer. And if they can't come see you play, they're gonna want to see the full game. You have the full game at your access, and you have the college recruitment video. Within what Carlos was just telling you, is at the game, we sent you an app, and you tap, and it's called fan highlighting, anyways, you can tap it, and it goes back 12 seconds. So let's say you're all caught up, your kid does a beautiful header on a set play, goes in for a goal, and you go, oh, tap. And so you tap, it goes back 12 seconds, so you're gonna catch that play. And it's all gonna appear here. When you get home, in about a day and a half, you're gonna get the game from me. It's gonna be an upload. And that's the complete game, and then it marries in with this, with what you did at the field. You'll go in and you'll put a header, shot on goal, pass the space, whatever it is, and all those things will appear over there. So this is cutting edge. I just found out about this recently, and it's a really cool device. It's fun to do while you're at the game. You're not going to have to watch the game again to go back and create those moments or capture those moments. You're already doing it. And it's a high definition download link. It's a link you can share with a coach, and it's a download you can have as a hard copy.
Dan, do you have like a package deal on what your costs are?
Usually anything local here, we have people in San Diego, and I travel to San Diego. We're Orange County based in South LA. Our fee is normally $150. If I have to go to UCI, there's a $10 fee, then I add that on. So $150. What you get with the video package is you can share that with your entire team. So if 10 people on that 20 roster want to participate, it's $15 per game. And we normally, if you get to see the rest of this video, many of you already have many times, we probably saw some of the athletes wearing different uniforms, home uniforms, away uniforms, playing different teams. Basically what that is you probably need 2 or 3 games minimum to put together college highlight reels so coaches can see, different games, how you perform on different days. So $150 for the video, and you can split it with everybody on the team. If you get more than 10, it goes lower than $15. So for $45, if you get 10 people for 3 games for $45, you get elevated footage like this. That you can cast a huge net when you're reaching out to schools. If you put your highlight video on the profile that Carlos was talking about, everybody that clicks on that can go right to your video. If you're going to a tournament and you invite a coach to come see you, if you have a video, chances are he'll come and see you. He's probably got 40, 50, 60 kids at least telling him to come watch. If he's got a video of 10 of those kids, they'll probably be the first 10 that he goes and visits. Yes, sir.
So each parent watching the game has their own identification with the app. So when we're clicking.
Each parent would have to get an invite. So prior to the game, I know each one of the emails, I'd send them an invite. They would have access to a game on that link, and you would go to my tags on the top right there. So only your tags would appear to you. Nobody else would see those tags. If you left it on public, then everybody could see it. But if you get an email and he gets an email and she gets an email and you're on the same team and you click on my tags, you're going to have tags of just your kids that appear to you when you get that link.
Can you do this with high school games as well?
Absolutely.
He did one of my players, actually I think three of them at least, used his service for the highlight video, and I feel one of them had helped a lot. And she ended up getting, because UCSB hadn't had a chance to see her, they did see her, then she went to a camp, and they did a tournament up there, they liked her even more. Then she had a couple other places to go to, but it ended up UCSB, and I think that highlight video really helped them get a better feel for her. And she had a great high school season, and they looked really good, so high school is a great opportunity to do it. In college, it doesn't matter for a college coach, they just want to see you play. Some want to use high school, some don't, but footage is footage. It's good.
More video, the better, right?
Yeah. Me as a coach, when I have players contacting me wanting to try out, I just need to put a name with a face. So video is even better. I wish that I would have a video to be able just when trying out players. When you're a college coach, absolutely.
Carlos, you mentioned the combines earlier.
Yeah,
Is that something you do outside of the club?
yeah, it's just like a college ID camp, but it's top drawer soccer. It's not the best, the quality of it, but it's just, you can boost your rankings from it, and it's an experience. A lot of them, they'll have like 5 to 10 to 15 college coaches there. So you'll get a feel for a bunch of different college coaches, instead of just going to one college ID camp. And I get those questions all the time. Should we do college ID camps? Well, I'd say if you don't know exactly where you want to go at first, go to those ones that have multiple ones, so you get to know different coaches. Because then coaches move from, so that's a good place to start, but then as you get further along the process and you start to target your schools, then you want to start going into specific schools for that you think that you believe will be a good opportunity for you. But don't waste a lot of money on ones that you don't have a chance. You know, if you aren't a Stanford level player, don't go to the Stanford camps. Yes?
I was just asking, are these relatively new combines? This is kind of like a new concept.
They've been going on for a while, but they haven't been real big. But I started sending some players, and I realized it boosted their rankings, and I got them higher in their rankings, and then it helped big time. The girl I got to Purdue, it helped huge. She bumped, because college coaches, they do look at the rankings. You know, if you are ODP or whatever, it doesn't mean that's the only way to do it, but they look at it. And if you're on the Mexican national team, UCLA would have never thought of it unless they saw that she was on the Mexican national team. So those little extra things help. But they've been around for a while, but it just, we're using that one.
Combines with synonymously with right camps.
Yeah, similar. Yeah, they call it unassigned now or something. Now they call it something different. It's the same concept. College ID camp, combine,
I heard unsigned combine.
unsigned combine. It's the same thing. Yeah. Did you have a question? Yes.
So when the players want to hand out their profile video to the coach, what do they hand out? A memory stick, or what is it that they actually hand out?
That's just when you send an email.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that. How you contact college coaches.
Okay.
When you're on the field, you should have a team brochure or team pamphlet that has all the players on there, and you just give one of those to the coaches, because they don't need 15 per player. 15 per team. So we'll talk about that. But it's just one team profile that is a hard copy that goes out on the fields. But then when you contact college coaches, it's going to be digital, just an email. And I'll talk about that. Yes.
So how do you get a good determination of the level of play that you're at so that you can target the right campus to go to?
Research. The research. So when you go through the research, and I show you how to go online to go to Top Drawer Soccer, you can go and you can click on commitments. When you see the commitments, you see the level of who they're committed to in 2016, 17, and 18. And you click on that player, and it gives you a description of that player. If that player is U.S. national team, and the next one is U.S. national team, and the other one is regional team, and they're all super high, and you aren't at that level, my chances aren't very high. But if they are at that level, you can start to gauge that way. That research, the other research that NCAA recruiting, oh no, that was for girls only. My bad. But College Fit Finder, same thing. When you go to the website, you can go to the athletic website and you can start clicking on the players and see what their level is. That'll give you a good idea in terms of the research. Does that make sense? And then it's just going through the process. You have 10 coaches, they came to watch your son play, and you have to follow up with them, and if they say, okay, we're interested, we aren't interested, then you know that level's probably not good. Or maybe it's just a specific situation, but you'll start to figure it out as you go through the process.
And when do you start inviting coaches to come watch? I mean, if he's a freshman,
sophomore, junior, for sure. And we'll get how to contact college coaches, but you want to keep contacting them. The aerial view is key for college coaches. The other thing you want to make is get good turnaround time with whatever company you use. That's why getting is so good is turnaround time from the footage to actually getting it and actually using it. You want to be able to get it quickly so you can start using it. And that's Dana in the back, so you know how to get a hold, talk to him afterwards if you need anything. So that's the video profile. Action step number 4, this is what you were asking about, is contacting college coaches and when to start contacting college coaches. This is a question that I get often. It's, you know, how many parents know the rules of contacting college coaches and them contacting you? Are you familiar with the rules at all? This is big. I had to figure this out. College coaches cannot contact you directly before your junior year, September 1st. So you can email them all day long, and you can call them even. If they answer and you call, they can talk to you. But they probably won't answer if they don't know your number. September 1st of junior year. September 1st, junior year. No. Junior year, September 1st. After that.
I thought that was kind of universal for all colleges, but I guess D3 is the
D3 is different. D3 is different. NAIA is different. So there's a little bit more freedom and leniency with that. In NAIA, you can go practice with the team. So there's different rules for different divisions.
What's NAIA?
NAIA is like a smaller kind of private type school. There's Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, and then there's NAIA. Smaller school.
Like Vanguard in Costa Mesa is one?
Vanguard might be NAIA.
Concordia.
What? Soca's NAIA.
Biola.
Point Loma used to be, but I think they moved up. Yeah, they're D2 now. So, there's another one, let's see another one. Biola. Another one. They were at my last college workshop, and there's a smaller one, really high academic. Good schools.
What did you just repeat? So before, coaches can now contact the players before September 1st of the junior year, but players can email coaches and coaches can reply to the players?
No, they can't reply
No
with
reply.
email. They can't reply with email,
Uh-huh.
with phone, with text. They can't reply
I don't know.
back to you directly at all. The only way they can is they can send you a questionnaire. And the questionnaire can say, it can, you know, like ask you some questions. And then in a paragraph of that would be like, almost look like a mass email, but they'll customize it, personalize it a little bit. But that's just a little bit of a loophole there.
If you were her coach
Right?
and they sent the college an email with your name and number, could they contact you to talk to?
Yep. So that's why I put here references. So you put the references in the body of the email, or you even put them in the carbon copy of the email. So your club coach, the people that I work with, my clients, I allow them to CC me on it. And then that way, if the college coach wants to find out about you, they will reply to me or to your club coach and find out. And that's why I say references are key. Some coaches don't want to be CC'd on everything. They don't want hundreds of emails to be that. But if you put it in the body, it's okay. Because all of us coaches know each other. And if they can look and say, oh, I know Carlos, or I know Bobby, or I know Mike, I'm going to email him back and find out more about this player. So include it in the body at least. If you can, with the approval of your coach, include the CC in there as well, carbon copy. so that they can reach out. Because that's the way it works. If a college coach likes you or wants to get to know you, they're going to reach out to your reference. Your reference is going to pass the message on to the player, and then the player now has to reach out to the college coach. And here's a tip. If they want to talk to you, you have to take advantage of it as soon as you can, within the next few days at least. And then you send them an email and say, I'm going to call you on Thursday at 5 p.m. And then they have to either make sure, or maybe they'll get back to your reference and say, that's great, I'll be available, or I'm not, I'm training at that time, but have the player call me at this time. And then you pass on the information. Ask my wife, I do that all the time, and she's like, I'm always on the phone connecting those.
But Carlos,
Yes.
that's only if they're juniors,
Yeah,
not before that.
before that, that's what it does. After you're a junior, September 1st is when you can start to
Oh,
have interaction. After that.
right,
Before that, it all has to go through your reference.
okay.
Here's the tip. When you do schedule that, you must text the college coach and say, this is Alexis from All World Club FC 2018. I'm going to call you now. So that that coach knows to pick up. Or if misses the call, has to get back to your reference, say, I just missed the call, can you have that player call me back? It's complicated. But that's just, those are the rules. Those are NCAA rules. And I list all the rules inside the guide. But good question. This is where it starts to get a little bit complicated and a little bit difficult. You do have to have this kind of email. Sarah Smith, Michael Smith, 2020@gmail.com. It shows that you're serious about playing college soccer. College coaches want to see that. They don't want to see that crazy, funky email that you've had for a few years that is not soccer related. So create your own email account. Plus, it's easier to keep track of. It's not intermixed with all your other emails, so it's very specialized for that. You want to make sure you email the entire staff. Make note of this, not just the head coach. The assistant coach, the recruiting coordinator, whoever's on that list, you must email everybody. Okay, because it's the recruiting and the assistant coaches that are going to do the legwork of the recruiting, not the head coach. The head coach makes the final decision. So you have to email the whole entire staff. The email structure, for a lot of players, this is hard. And sometimes the parents do it for them. And that shouldn't happen. So I've kind of blended it, and inside my guide I give you a template. And I said, this is what an email should look like when you send it to a college coach. You don't want to list all the tournaments you won when you were U10 and U11 and U12. They don't have time for that. They want to know who you are, introduce yourself. This is my profile, so it's a link. Here's my schedule. You're basically inviting them to come watch you play. And then you list your references, and then your signature. Parents, you guys probably have a signature on your email where it has like your picture and your contact information, basically like a little miniature job resume. Same as with this. You want to have that signature at the bottom. It's like a mini profile. So your name, your graduation year. Here's a tip. In the subject should always be the same. Carlos Gonzalez, 2018, All-World FC, and my position, center mid. And then after that, it could be introduction email, follow-up email from a tournament, or Las Vegas showcase, or whatever it is. That way it's easy for them to always reference who you are and your name, and you keep that consistent. So I map all that out, and I get this information from college coaches. I've talked to them, they're like, this is how we like to see an email that comes in. It's easy to identify, simple, to the point, it's there. That's straight from college coaches, and that's how I set up. I give like 8 different types of emails that you can use throughout this whole process. Introduction, follow-up, summer, preseason, all the different emails that will help you get the attention of the college coach and how to get their attention. Because you have to make it interesting enough to where they know you're specifically interested in that program. So I give you all the sample templates inside the guide. Any questions with this? Because this is where it gets a little bit complicated. But these are all the steps. No question with this?
When you buy the guide,
And you are available for questions and stuff?
I can be available for questions. Most of everything is in there. That's why I put everything in there. I do have people that reach out and send me, I'm like, it's in there. It's in there. If I have to maybe guide them in where specifically. But yeah, I'm here to help. I'm here to help. But everything is put in there, yeah. So these are the action steps. This is the bulk of what you need. This is what's going to help you. This is your foundation. The foundation of what you need to start moving forward. I get into more stuff, but based on where you guys are at, this is the most important information that you need right now to get started. What do I have here? So this is the online course that I've created. So I went through the first 4 steps, which takes you through pretty much, I kind of combined creating your profile and contact college coaches for you. Now we're going to be getting into time to perform. Players, I'm speaking to you. At the end of the day, you can do all this research and send out emails. You have to be ready to perform. That's key. So all your training and all are very, very important. So you have to, I included that inside the guide, which probably should be its own bonus because that information is key. I've had so many players that have invited college coaches and they have mentally not been prepared and they almost missed an opportunity. But college coaches get it. They know that's why they need to see you multiple times. But you want to make sure that you're on point with that. Scheduling unofficial college visits and navigating the decision-making process. So this is basically what I put together so that it guides you through the process step by step all the way through. I'm going to show you a little video here. Oh, here's the bonuses. So the bonuses that I've included is a financial guide. Who was asking me some financial question? Something about finance. Somebody asked a financial question, like how do you know? Somebody? No? Financial advice. This is from a financial advisor that has been a college guidance coach, college coordinator for a club. His name is Adam Skumowitz. Great information. All the information you need to know in there. Basically, how to the net price calculator, so how to kind of calculate how much it's going to cost and what you may need to save. Comes up with a college funding strategy. You have to fill out the FAFSA, which is financial aid. Even if you aren't going to get any, you still have to fill it out. So all that information is in there. That's a huge information. You don't have to go in. All the information you need is there. Academic guide is a bonus that I have inside. Basically, it's from an expert academic counselor. And I got all that information from her, and that's all the content that's in there. I don't specialize, I'm not an expert in the financial or the academic, but I brought in experts that provide all that information for you guys. Basically, all the core requirements that you need, academic requirements, all that information is listed in there. The NCAA guide is all the rules that you need to know. But I narrowed down just the most important ones. I gave you all the links to get to everything else, but the most important are in there. So there's a lot of information, but that simplifies it for you. And then the timeline guide, basically to get an idea of where you would fall in the process. So let me show you a little video here.
Starting this whole college recruitment
tablets and modules that he built in it, so it takes you through step by step. And what happens is, each module you click, he even took the extra 9 yards to do videos on each segment, which is unbelievable, because it talks about it as well. I mean, all the information's there, which you can follow, but it talks about it as well, and it's passionate about what it's doing, so it gives us the massive information that we're all going to see. Everything you can possibly imagine for college placement, for what you need to do as a player, how to handle your college visits, when you go to an IB camp, performance for the coaches, how you handle the players when you go there for your recruiting trip, and what you say, what you don't say, the questions that you ask the coach. Those are all things that he's providing. Nobody's going to know that. Who knows that? I mean, I actually learned this stuff from it. You guys don't know how to say that. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. That's spot on.
So that gets me excited because I love the fact that I'm able to help parents take away that stress. I'm happy that I'm able to help the players and help them. I mean, it gives me the chills just thinking about it. Because that's why I do what I do. I want to help, I want to share the information, the knowledge that I know to make this process easier. And there's not another program that's out there like this. I know because I was looking for something like this and I couldn't find it. So that's why I created it. It's available for you guys. The cost is $197 for the whole year. I value it at $1,200, whether it's $100 for each module or $100 a month. The reason I made it online was to make it affordable for players and parents. Because there's recruiting services out there, like they were talking about on the video, that will charge you thousands and thousands of dollars because they have to exchange their time to help educate you. And you have to schedule those meetings, you have to meet up with them, and it costs you a lot of money. I don't want this to be a huge added expense. So I kept it low for those reasons. I want to save you time, I want to save you money, I want to save you the frustration and the anxiety of the whole entire process. And so everything you need is online. You have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I know the parents, you guys are super busy. Players are busy with their school and their academics. But this is something that you guys can do together. You have full access. It's very simple. There's a video in each module that introduces what you're going to learn. It gives you the content. It gives you the steps. You've got PDF downloads. So a lot of people like to have hard copy stuff. So you can print them out and you can make a little booklet out of it. And everything you need is there as well. So it's either online and or hard copy stuff. So it's easy to follow. Basically everything that you need is in there. And I do give a 30-day money-back guarantee. So there's no risk for 30 days. I haven't had anybody return it because of a lack of what they've wanted. So the other thing that I'm super, super, super excited about is for you guys today. If you sign up today, I'll give you College Fit Finder for free. It's normally $30 a month, so like a $360 value. I'll give it to you guys for free. So you will get the player profile, you will get the college search tool that is absolutely incredible. I mean, just that, it's worth just that, and the profile. So College Fit Finder and I have partnered. So I'm able to give that to you guys. And I don't offer this online or anywhere else. I only do this for my live workshops. And so because you guys have taken the time to come today, I want to make that offer to you guys. So you have the sign-up forms there. So if you fill out all the information that you have in there. Also what I want you to do is to make sure that you put your player's name on the side there, just so I know who your player is when I create your profile for College Fit Finder. And I'm assuming nobody has College Fit Finder, but make sure also that you write College Fit Finder, that you want that, or you need that, or so that I can make sure I get that And then it'll take probably 2 to 3 days for me to get you the College Fit Finder, because I have to send it in to them. But you will have full access to the College Soccer Guide as soon as tomorrow. So that's my guide. Any questions? Oh yeah.
Oh, is that a yearly, the College Fit Finder yearly?
Yeah, you'll get it after a full year too.
Okay.
Yeah. So from the day you sign up, from today all the way for a full year. Yeah. And that's not offered anywhere that I know of as well. So I'm happy to be able to share that. This is basically giving you everything you need. I wish I had this for my team when I got started. That's why I'm giving it to you guys. So you get the College Soccer Guide, and then you get College Fit Finder for free. And I don't think you would need anything else after that. Okay? So I'll be in the back, and if you have any questions or anything like that, I'll be in the back. We'll collect the forms, and I'll answer any questions for you guys. And I want to meet you too, because I haven't met all of you, so if I get a chance to meet you before you leave, that would be great. Okay, thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you.